These are African trade beads. They're Krobo powder, kind of painted beads, I believe they're called. I listed them up originally as one thing, and somebody contacted me telling me that they weren't that, and they gave me a more specific title for them. So I did some research, and they were indeed correct, I believe. And so I changed the title, and I did some research and determined my price was a little bit higher than what they normally would go for. So these seem to go around $20 to $30. So I put my price originally at $180, and I lowered it down to $80. And somebody just came in and bought them. They made me an offer, actually, for $60, and I accepted. Got these at an auction. There was 2 sets. I have the other set. It's a little bit different than these, listed as well. It's not as nice as this one. This is a nicer one. And I think I paid $5 or $10 for it. This is another piece of that Wedgwood turquoise Florentine pattern. This looks like a teacup and saucer, but it has 2 handles. And this is actually a soup bowl, or footed soup bowl, they call it. Kind of a small soup bowl, but it's a soup bowl nonetheless. It's the only one that was in that set, so I'm just selling it individually. This was from an auction lot of this pattern that I purchased. It was about $260 or so, and I'd say there was probably about 70 to 90 pieces in there. And a lot of it I've been selling individually. I've sold a lot of the larger serving pieces. I probably made definitely more than double my money back on that so far, and I got plenty more to sell. And I'd say total, I estimate I'll probably make about $1,000 to $1,200 on that. It's a very popular pattern. A lot of people are seeking it out. This is a pretty interesting vintage cigar box. It's by Hoya de Monterrey, and I believe it is from Cuba. And it's got these great hinged boxes that open up. This one here is supposed to be latched, but doesn't latch anymore. And it's got really nice inlay wood. It's this inlay wood on the top, and a good amount of storage for, I guess, cigars. And I did a bit of research on these, and I couldn't really find too much about it. They were going for not much money. Between cigar boxes on eBay go for between $15 to $30, with a rare exception, maybe $55. So I thought this one was unique enough. I put a good price on it of $155. At least I thought it was a good price. Somebody came in and bought it within 3 days, which usually means to me that I priced it a little bit too low. And the person who bought it is going off to Italy through the global shipping program, and they actually have one listed for sale. Not exactly the same, much more simple than this one, but by the same company there. And they're listing it for, I think it was $250. So I'm guessing they're buying this one to sell as well, and will probably list it for a higher price than I did. So I probably could have listed this for a little bit more, but I really didn't have the research or knowledge on it, and so I'm happy with what I got, $155. I only paid about $40 for this at auction. It came with a bunch of other things as well. It was a tray lot, so it wasn't just this box. So I'm happy with the price I got for it. Sure, I wish I could have got $250 or $400 or whatever. If I had known, maybe I would have listed it a bit higher. But that's how it goes. This is a vintage Swiss-made Bulova woman's watch. It is broken, but you can sell broken watches on eBay and people will buy them. This one here is a little bit special in that it has a couple of really small diamonds in it. There's one right up there and there's one down below here. Almost too small to see, but they are real diamonds. This watch, as I said, doesn't work. And it's also 10 karat rolled gold body. So, you know, it's for the right person, it has some value. So this one here came in a watch lot that I probably paid $5 for and got about 30 watches. Most of them were probably broken. And this one here I sold for $22. This is a Canon neck strap for a power shot camera. It is a leather, genuine Canon piece. And this came from the camera lot auction that I bought a couple years ago, or about over a year ago now, I guess, a year and a half or so. And I've talked about it in my earlier videos. If you've been following me for a while, you've heard me talk about this camera lot, or retail camera store that was going out of business, and my local auction house was basically handling the clearance of everything that they had. And I just got some fantastic, kind of new in the box kind of stuff like this. We had just great resale value and sold really quickly. And I really wish I could find more caches like that. It was just a fantastic sale. And I don't have much of that stuff left. It's kind of just the dregs that are left. I probably have maybe 1 bin's worth of stuff. This one here sold for $20. I've been going through some of my older inventory, trying to list some stuff up, and I found a bunch of these Snoopy Pins. A lot of them were for ski resorts or different ski locations, I guess. And this one here is a Cub Scout one. It's the only one I've listed so far. And these were going for anywhere from $6 to $10 or so, it seemed. I found someone selling a whole lot of them, like 4 or 5 of them for like, I don't know, like $15. So I decided to list mine for $12, and I just put it up last week and it sold. This is a very distressed Turkish Kilim Rug. And I like this style of rug because it's a very low pile. These are very easy to ship. They're very easy to store. And people tend to pay a decent price for them. This one here I picked up at auction. It is in really rough shape. I think I paid $20 for it. And you can see it's got a lot of repairs. Big hole in the middle there. A lot of wear. I'll do an insert photo so you can see what it looks like on the rug. It's a beautiful rug. And I think I paid $20 for this one. And I've had it up for over a year now. And I think I had it up for... Originally I had it for like $270 something. I lowered the price down recently to $199. And I can't remember if I had best offer or not on this piece, but somebody came in and they paid full price, $199. This is a large round copper pin or brooch. It's got a pin back there. It's a solid copper, and this came in a jewelry lot auction. It was just a full box of jewelry. And if I'm so lucky to find gold, silver, and diamonds, I pull those out first and get those listed right away. And then I start looking for things with maker's marks or designer's marks. And this one here has a mark down there. It's for the Bell Trading Post, which is I think it's out of Arizona. It's a Navajo Indian trading post. And so it had some desirability, not a ton. I mean, nothing like this stuff won't go for a lot, but I sold this piece here for $15. These are a pair of primitive style, kind of cast iron, colonial farm table type of candlestick holders. They're pretty nice. They got kind of a nice rusty patina to them. These are not original, I don't believe. I listed them as a primitive style. And I had these up for $50, and they actually sold around Christmas time, but the person never paid for them. And then like 2 months later they asked, where's my candlesticks? And I told them they never paid for them, and I never heard from them. So I ended up relisting them. And somebody came in and made an offer, which was a little bit too low, and I rejected it. And they came back and asked me what I would take, and I was willing to make a deal with them because they were going to have them shipped internationally. So I said $35 was my minimum, and they bought them. And these are going out through the global shipping program. And another new in the box Canon thing sold from that retail camera store auction I went to about a year and a half ago. This is just a lens hood for a particular Canon lens. This is the original price and the lenses that it will fit. And I had probably 3 or 4 dozen lens hoods like this new in the box, and I've sold through most of them. I just have a couple more left. This one here sold for $19.95. This is a National Defense Service medal with ribbon bar and other things. I'll open it up so you can see it. It's new in the package. It's got the medal, the little bronze medal there with the ribbon and the ribbon bar. And this I got at an estate sale. It was a big box of kind of vintage militaria kind of stuff. Paid $50 for the box, and I've sold probably a few hundred pieces out of there so far. It was a great lot. I still have some of that stuff to list. I kind of burnt out on it, but some of it's still listed and it continues to sell. Not a ton of money for the stuff I have left, but this piece here sold for $10. This is a vintage Snoopy pin from a ski resort called Sunday Mountain, which is here just north of me in Maine. That will focus, you can finally see it. There it is. And this here I found in a stash of jewelry lot. It was a whole bag of them. And I have about, I don't know, 12 of these from different ski resorts, a lot of them from Sunday Mountain. And I've just listed a couple of them so far. And I sold one, which was a Cub Scout one, for $12. I decided to go a little bit higher on this one and put it up for $17. And it sold overnight. So either I priced it too low or I priced it exactly right. The person who bought it has Snoopy in their eBay username, so I'm guessing they're a collector. So I'm going to try to list the rest of them, and maybe they'll come in and buy all of them. This is a vintage Delft tile. It's not really an antique. These were, I think, mass-produced in the 80s. They have a thing on the back talking about them. They got the little Delft logo over here. They're meant to look old, but I don't think they really are. And I kind of bought these on a whim at an auction, paid a little bit too much for them. I think I got 3 of them for think it was around $30. So basically 10 bucks a piece. When I got home, I realized there really wasn't much money in these. And this one here I put up for 20 bucks. Most people were selling these for around 10. And somebody came in and bought it. So there's still a little bit of hope for me, except yesterday I was doing some cleaning and I knocked one off the shelf and broke it. So now I only have 2 to sell. So if I sell them for the same price, I probably would just about break even after all the fees.